Hello everyone, I'm Ashish.
And I am Naman, and we would be presenting our work on Network and Load Aware Resource Manager for MPA programs. This work was done under the guidance of Professor Preeti Malakar. We all come from IIT Kanpur, and we are thankful to SRMPDS team for providing us this opportunity.
In distributed memory parallel programs, there are more than one processing elements or nodes that work cooperatively to solve a single big problem using their own local memory. Message passing interface is primarily used to write such programs, and the library takes care of all the communication setup and messaging required between the nodes. Such programs are typically run on a supercomputer or a cluster, where the cluster can be dedicated to run only this type of jobs, or it can be shared non-dedicated cluster. In case of supercomputer or dedicated managed cluster, nodes are allocated by the job scheduler. Whereas in case of unmanaged cluster, user is required to specify a list of host names. Typically, a user randomly selects a few nodes without much knowledge about the current compute load and network connectivity of these nodes, which leads to performance issue. So, in this work, we address the problem of allocating a good set of nodes to run MPA jobs in a shared non-dedicated cluster. It is generally assumed that a cluster exclusively runs jobs using a process manager only. This may not be true in case of non-dedicated shared compute clusters, such as Compute Lab cluster in academic institutions. Nodes are shared among many users. Different users use these nodes for different purposes, such as to conduct practical lab sessions, perform research experiments, complete assignments, and watch video lectures. Furthermore, the resource usage has a lot of variation. This shows resource usage variation across 20 nodes of a cluster in IIT Kanpur. The first figure shows variation in CPU load across two randomly selected nodes, node A and node B, as well as average across 20 nodes. You can see that there are occasional spikes in all these three curves. However, the average CPU load is mostly low. Similarly, this figure shows the average CPU utilization and the average memory usage across all 20 nodes. Static attributes such as total RAM, core count, and CPU speed do not provide enough information about the suitability of a resource. We also need to consider dynamic attributes of the resources such as CPU load and available memory. These dynamic attributes may not be a major concern for dedicated cluster as nodes are generally exclusively allocated, but they have huge impact in case of a shared cluster. Similarly, there are variations on network state of the cluster. This shows heat map of peer-to-peer measured bandwidth between 30 nodes of our cluster averaged over 10 runs. The bandwidth varies a lot across peers, which can be observed by the light, high available bandwidth, and the dark patches, low available bandwidth. Node numbering is based on the physical proximity. We can observe that nodes with closer physical proximity have somewhat higher bandwidth than those that are distant. However, note that there are variations in the graph. The second figure depicts the network bandwidth of three randomly selected pairs in our cluster. Peer-to-peer bandwidth of these node pairs varies a lot across time and across node pair. Note that the bandwidth of a given pair fluctuates significantly around a base value, which is determined by how good the node pair is physically connected, that is topology. These fluctuations are mainly due to shared network switches and links, with various network intensive jobs running on these and other nodes of the cluster. Many existing matchmaking techniques consider only static node attributes, and few like Move do consider dynamic node attributes. Matchmakers like Slurm do not consider the current network state, while various others consider the network topology but not the current state of network. We propose a resource matchmaker that collects information about the resources and provides the most suitable resources to the MPI jobs. Considering all these variations, our techniques takes into account both static and dynamic attributes of the resource, including the network availability of the allocated nodes.
In this presentation, we will first go through the node allocation algorithm. Then we will see how we collected data. Later, we will share the experimental results, then the challenges and opportunities for the future. We model the network as fully connected graph, where node represents compute node with some available processor count, and the weight on edge gives an estimate of network load between the nodes. We will define what these terms means in the following slides. Given a request for n processes to be allocated, our goal is to find a subgraph such that overall cost of subgraph is minimized and the process demand is fulfilled. So first define few terms before we move further. Compute load is a measure of overall load on the node. We take in account static attributes like clock speed, core count, total memory, as well as dynamic attributes like CPU load, CPU utilization, and available memory. The compute load is the weighted sum of these attributes after normalization. Consider an application that is CPU bound. For that, we would want to give more weight to CPU attributes. On the other hand, for memory bound applications, we will give more weights to memory attributes. Network load is a measure of load on a peer-to-peer link. We consider bandwidth and latency. Similar to compute node, it is also a weighted sum of normalized latency and complement of available bandwidth. This provides flexibility as there may be programs that do extensive communication, but the data volume is less. For them, we would set weight of latency more as it is more important factor. We also try to balance the subscription of cores within the node, and these weights can be tuned according to program needs and their type. First, I'll give the overview of an algorithm and then run it across an example. Corresponding to each of the node, we find some candidate subgraph that satisfies demand. I'll explain later how we find this candidate subgraph. Once we have the candidate subgraph, we calculate the compute load CGV and network load NGV for each of the subgraph. Compute load of subgraph is a summation over compute load of nodes in the subgraph, while network load of a subgraph is summation over network loads of peer-to-peer link. Hence, we have a total load TGV, which is weighted sum of above two. Alpha and beta are again application-specific weights. Based on total load, we select the best one among the candidates and denotes the allocation by network and load-aware algorithm. As said earlier, we find candidate subgraph corresponding to each of the node. Let's build a candidate corresponding to V4. Current allocated process count is 4, required process count is 16, and suppose for an application, compute weight alpha is equal to 0.4 and network weight beta is equal to 0.6. We start with V4 and compute the addition load for each of the node. Addition load of node U for V4 is a measure of additional load incurred if we add U to the candidate corresponding to V4. As V1 has minimum addition load, we pick it and now our allocated process count becomes 10, which is still less than the required process count, which is 16. So we pick the second best one, which is V2, and add it to the subgraph. Now our allocated process count becomes 18, which is higher than the required process count 16. So we stop here and V1, V2, and V4 constitute the candidate subgraph corresponding to V4. To summarize the candidate selection algorithm, first calculate the addition load for nodes with respect to start node, then keep adding the nodes to the subgraph in increasing order of addition load until allocated processes are more or equal to the required number of processes. This is the pseudocode for candidate selection algorithm. In the input, we get node P, graph G, PC, a list of effective processor count, N, the requested number of processes. It outputs candidate subgraph corresponding to V. In this, first we initialize few variables and then calculate addition load of U corresponding to V and sort it in increasing order of addition load. Then in the loop, we keep on adding the nodes to the subgraph until the process requirement is satisfied.
We now describe our monitoring tool that collects static and dynamic data of cluster that is required by the node allocation algorithm. We use daemons that run on the cluster nodes in a distributed manner. These daemons periodically collects the node and network status. Each node daemon writes its data to the shared file system, which is in our case is the network file system. LiveHost daemon maintain a list of active nodes called LiveHosts. This ensures that only the nodes that are up and running are allocated for user job. Furthermore, we require the values of various static and dynamic attributes of the live hosts in the cluster to reduce the compute load of each node. For this, we run a node state daemon called node state D on each live host. The daemon extracts the real-time system state using unique system utilities such as lscpu, uptime, and Python psutil library. We also calculate peer-to-peer bandwidth and peer-to-peer latency to estimate the network performance of the cluster using latency D and bandwidth D daemon. We run an MPI program at a regular interval of 1 minute for latency and 5 minutes for bandwidth to measure peer-wise latencies and bandwidth. The central monitor daemon keeps track of all other daemons and enables them to continue operating correctly in case of failures also. Now, we present performance evaluations of our allocation algorithm. We experimented on the Intel cluster of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering of Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. Our experimental setup consists of 40 12-core Intel Core nodes and 20 8-core Intel Core nodes. We used two Mentavo benchmarks, MiniMD and MiniFE, for performance evaluation of network and load-aware allocation algorithm. MiniMD is a simple parallel molecular dynamics mini application that uses a spatial decomposition where each process owns subset of the simulation box whose size can be specified by the user. Whereas MiniFE is a proxy application for unstructured implicit finite element codes which set up a brick-shaped problem domain of hexahedral elements. We compare this algorithm with random, sequential, and load-aware allocation. Random allocation randomly selects the required number of nodes from active nodes. Sequential allocation first selects a random node and adds neighboring nodes topologically as required. This is because users often tend to select consecutive nodes. Load-aware allocation selects the group of nodes with minimal compute load. This table shows the weights used for node attributes, like we set the weight for CPU load to 0.3. We give higher weights to CPU load and utilization because higher values of this reduces performance. System attributes like total physical memory, clock speed, and logical core count do not vary much across the nodes, hence we are given lower weights. Similarly, relative weights for latency and bandwidth were set to 0.25 and 0.75 respectively. Relative weight for compute and network load were set to 0.3 and 0.7 respectively for MiniMD, while it was 0.4 and 0.6 respectively for MiniFE. These values were determined empirically. One may set these weights by profiling an application and decide their relative weight on the basis of the computation and communication times. Some knowledge about the application may also help us to set these relative weights. These plots show MiniMD execution time on the y-axis on 8, 16, 32, and 64 processes with 4 processes per nodes. We varied the problem size from around 2K atoms to around 440K atoms, as shown on the x-axis. We ran all 4 approaches in sequence for fair evaluation and repeated this for 5 times to account for network variability. We can observe that random allocation performed worse than all the other allocation algorithm. This is because the probability of running on highly loaded nodes is high with random allocation. Load-aware allocation performed better than sequential for less number of nodes, whereas worse for large number of nodes. This is because when the node count is high, network dynamics impact the communication times more and hence the performance. In network and load-aware allocation algorithm, we incorporated these network dynamics and thus achieve the best performance. Our experiment shows significant performance gain in terms of execution time compared to other allocation algorithms for a given parameter. This table summarizes the improvement of a random, sequential, and load-aware allocation algorithm in terms of average, median, and maximum performance gain. Reason for this significant performance gain is that the network and load-aware allocation algorithm selects those nodes that have low CPU load and utilization and also good network connectivity among them. These plots show result for various configuration of Mini-FE. We varied the problem dimension from around 48 to 384. And for each of these configuration, we experimented on process count of 8, 16, 32, and 48 with 4 processes per node. We observed similar trends as of Mini MD. Here we saw that random allocation performed worst while load and network aware performed best. The algorithm performed better than random by around 47%, better than sequential by around 31%, and better than load aware by around 34%.
We analyzed the utility of network and load-aware algorithm in detail using the results from MiniMD run on 32 processes, 4 processes per node. MiniMD was run on 8 nodes using all the above mentioned 4 allocation methods. The execution time was recorded as 4.43 seconds when nodes were allocated using network and load-aware algorithm, while the time was much greater when other allocation algorithms were used. The average latency and complement of average bandwidth are better for network and load-aware algorithm. Also observe that it performed better than load-aware algorithm despite having slightly higher CPU load. This signifies the importance of network connectivity between allocated nodes. This figure provides more insights into the state of cluster at the time of allocation. The figure has 3 parts. The heat map represents the complement of available bandwidth between the nodes. Lighter the shade, better the connectivity. The first line represents the node numbers which are spread over 3 switches separated by vertical bold blue line. This section represents the nodes picked by various algorithms. The colored one represents the ones those were picked. You can see that network and load-aware algorithm did not pick CSCWS4 as it has very high load, though it picked CSCWS9 and CSCWS10. Though it has higher load, but better connectivity with rest of the picked nodes at the same time. Also, it captures topology by picking the nodes which are topologically close together, thus reducing the number of hops. Load-aware algorithm selected nodes across switches, which resulted in poor connectivity. Sequential algorithm picked nodes with high load, while random picked random nodes. Network and load-aware algorithm reduces runtime by more than 38% over random, sequential, and load-aware allocations due to less interference from external factors. But there are a lot of challenges and opportunities that can be addressed in further works. Like it is quite challenging to determine the relative weights for resource attributes and computation communication characteristics for large applications. We plan to enhance profiling tools for this purpose. There is also scope for time series estimation methods, which may be used for bandwidth forecast. We can also extend it to large-scale systems spanning over multiple clusters. While we are also exploring integrating our tool as a plugin for Slurm like job scheduler.